Whitney here, and today I am bringing you a new video. So I just saw the pizza guy go by and I was like really upset because he wasn't coming to my house and I really want pizza. So today I'm actually bringing you guys a new series for my channel, which I am super stoked about. This is going to be kind of my story time / storytelling type series where I tell you guys about experiences and things that have happened in my life, and maybe it can help you, or maybe it can just give you a really good laugh and we can all just laugh about it together. So this is going to be my worst date ever story. A few things gotta mention. I have been on lots of dates. That sounds really bad, but I have been on lots of dates with lots of different guys, and I have experienced lots of different things. So this worst date happened my freshman year of high school. I was 15. Yeah. I couldn't drive. I didn't have my license. My source of meeting boys was through Facebook. So that sounds really bad, but I was naive. I was just a little desperate girl looking for love, and I found all these guys through Facebook. We're gonna call this guy Eric. Eric will be his new name. So I had met Eric through Facebook, of course. We had mutual friends. He lived a couple towns over. He probably lived 35 minutes away from me. Our schools played each other in sports, and I knew about his school. I'd been there before, you know, everything about it was familiar, so it felt like it was okay to me. Eric was 16 and he did have his license and a car, so that was really cool. And we messaged back and forth through Facebook, and we had a slight connection, and we decided to text. So Eric was kind of short when texting. He didn't put a lot of effort into his messages. He said like K a lot, and he was very short, which wasn't a huge deal to me because I have dated and talked to guys that were like that, but it definitely something I don't like in a guy. Another thing that I thought was weird was we had a connection and we did like each other, and that was definitely obvious. Over text we like each other, you know, and we sent pictures back and forth, so we kind of knew what each other looked like. He was, I wouldn't say he was super cute, but like I said, I was desperate. He was average, and he was kind of like the country boy type, which is what I was obsessed with at the time. So whatever. And one thing that I thought was kind of weird about Eric was he called me Cupcake. I don't know about you. I've never had a guy call me Cupcake before, and I just thought it was kind of strange and different, but I didn't really think it was that big of a deal. After a couple weeks, it was only a couple weeks of talking, we decided to try it out and go on a date together. There was a movie theater about it was probably about 40 minutes from where I live, and we were gonna go have a movie What? Go to the movies and maybe have dinner or something fun. What movie we were gonna go see, when we were gonna go see it, and all this other stuff. Now he told me he wanted to do a double date with his friend and his friend's girlfriend. So I was like, okay, you know, that's kind of awkward for me because they all know each other and they're all friends and I'll just be by myself. But I was up for it because, you know, first dates are kind of awkward and friends usually help the awkwardness. So I was like, okay, sure. I was at my cousin's house, and I was gonna have him pick me up there because that's where I was, and it was more convenient to get to than my house anyways. And when I was 15, my parents had this rule that before I could go on a date, they had to meet the guy, and he had to meet them in person before I could ever go out on a date. So he came to the house and picked me up. And the first thing that I noticed was he was really short. I'm like 5'7.5", something like that. And he was probably like 5'6" maybe, and he definitely was a little on the ugly side compared to his pictures, which wasn't a big deal because looks isn't everything, so I didn't really care about that. And he came up at my parents, he shook their hands, and how do you do, parents? But he was kind of really awkward, and not really awkward, but he was like cocky about it, and he kind of acted like he was better than everybody, and he
kind of like shook his butt when he walked, like he was one of those guys that's like, what up, I'm boss, yo.
You know, he was like all about himself, and you could really tell. So that was not good at all. When I met my parents were kind of like weird, you know, like they told me like he's weird, basically. So I got in the car and we left, and his friends introduced themselves to me, and they were pretty weird. They were like giggling and laughing and acting like little schoolgirls, and they were supposed to be 15 and 16-year-olds. So I'm like, what are you guys, 12? I was pretty mature for my age at 15 compared to other 15-year-olds. So on the way, we didn't really talk much, like at all. He chewed tobacco, and he had this clear cup. He would kind of lean towards me, like spit this big huge loogie tobacco spit bomb in this clear cup, and it really grossed me out. I've dated guys before that have chewed, and I don't really mind it as long as, you know, it's not like they do it around me, then I'm okay with it. But he didn't ask me if I was okay with it. He didn't ask me if I was comfortable with it, if it would bother me or anything like a normal gentleman would do. He just like spit this huge bomb right next to me, and I was about to barf and throw up all over the car because it was nasty. So that was like awkward. I kind of like texted the whole ride, like texted my family and stuff, because it was just like an awkward ride. We didn't really talk. They kind of talked about different things, but it was mainly just a silent ride. I explained to him how to get there, and that was really all we talked about. So we get to the movie theater. At first, at that point, I still kind of liked the guy, you know. I still thought he was all right. We had a good connection over texting, and I still pictured him to be the same guy that I've been texting all this time. So at that point, I was still kind of into him and still kind of okay with the date. But then that's where it all went downhill. Holy crap. So his friends get out of the back seat, and he gets out of the car, and they're all walking in together. And I'm still getting out of the car, and they're like way ahead of me, like way up there in the parking lot close to the building. And I just kind of walked in by myself. And I got up to him, and I was like, you know, why don't you wait for me? Like, I was trying to catch up to you. And he didn't really say anything. He was just like, whatever, like, he didn't even say anything. So that was really weird, because they all walked in together, and I was just back here like, what up? I'm a loner. Loner's got to be alone. So we go into the movies, and we already had it planned out what movie we were going to see. It was a movie none of us had seen, and, you know, me and him had already planned out the movie and everything. And we get there, and his friends, girlfriends, started throwing this big huge fit and whining and complaining like a little 6-year-old would, saying she wanted to see this love story movie, which I had already seen that movie the week before. So I wasn't really up for it. I didn't really want to see it because I already seen it. I didn't want to waste money to see it again. But she kept throwing a fit like over and over again and wouldn't stop. So they gave in and said, we'll see that movie that you want to see, even though I already seen it. So I'm a team player. I'm a nice person. So I was like, okay, that's a good movie anyways, so we'll see it. So I'm not gonna lie, around where I live and just my morals and everything, I expect a guy to pay for me on the first date. That's just what you do around here, you know. That's a big thing your mama needs to teach ya. Like, that's just very important. It's respectful, it shows courtesy, and it's just very respectful to pay on the first date. They're kind of talking in this little circle, and I can't even get in the circle because they're like mashed up together talking, and I'm just kind of standing beside the circle like, okay, hi, I'm over here, do you want to talk to me or not? And so he goes up to pay, and, you know, I'm expecting him to pay for me because that's what guys do. He goes up to the counter, and he buys 3 tickets. I know what you're thinking. 3 tickets? One of those is for you, Whitney. No! Psych, they're not. He paid for himself, and he paid for his 2 friends, and they had their tickets, and they were kind of standing over here, like, waiting for me. Like, they didn't really say, like, hey, we're gonna wait for you over here. They were just kind of, like, standing here till I got the hint that they were waiting for me. So I was like, wow. Go up there and I paid for my own ticket for this movie that I already saw with my own money, paid for the ticket. They're kind of walking into the movie theater and I'm just kind of walking behind trying to catch up because they're like Speedy Gonzales. And we get into the movie theater and I find them and I sit with them. He has his back to me like this, like I'm this bookshelf right here, and he's just like talking to his friends. And I tried to say something to him and he was just kind of like, you know, back to his friends. And it was really, really rude. I felt really out of place. I felt awkward. I felt alone. I could definitely tell that the connection was not there in person at that point. I could definitely tell he did not like me and I did not like him. It was all very clear, like a flashing neon sign, like this is a bad date and you need to get out. So it's not like you can just walk home, you know, like I didn't have my license and it was just a really awkward situation that I put myself in, and I know I put myself in that situation. So he was really, really loud and obnoxious and like yelling out through the whole theater, and people were staring at us. He was being really disrespectful and rude to other people. I'm the kind of person I like to stay on the down low and, you know, just be a normal person and not be yelling and drawing attention to myself. But he definitely was drawing lots of attention to himself. He was talking about weird stuff. Girls walked in and he was like whistling at them and yelling at them. And friends were like giggling and laughing, and he would say something weird to me that I didn't understand. And his friends would like giggle and laugh about it, and he would think that it was funny, but I had no idea what it was about. Maybe it was like an inside joke or something. I didn't understand any part of it. So the movie starts and, you know, he's facing forward watching the movie. And the next thing I know, he reaches over and puts his arm around me. He tries to rub my leg. He puts his hand on my leg and he's like rubbing my leg, and I'm like, whoa, no, not gonna happen. Like, no, thank you. No. But yeah, that was definitely a shocker for me. He was really rude. He didn't talk to me. He didn't care that I was even there. And then all of a sudden he wanted to like make the moves on me. Like, no thanks, I'll pass. During this whole date, I was texting my mom, telling her everything that was happening. I was explaining to her how awful everything was and everything he was doing to me and how I just hated the whole thing. And so she said, do you want me to have your cousin come to the movie theater and pick you up? And I thought about it. I thought about just bearing it out, but then I thought this is the worst date ever. Like, I said, yes, send my cousin to come get me. So it was pretty awkward for the next 35-40 minutes until my cousin got there. And so once my cousin texted me that he arrived, I'm not really good at like making up excuses or lies or like on the spot things to get me out of bad situations. I'm not good at that at all. So I thought for quite a while on what to say to him when my cousin arrived. I was worrying and thinking, and I didn't really know what to say to him. And finally, I just looked at him. It was silent, and I said, my cousin was in the parking lot. My mom sent my cousin to come pick me up, and I have to go right now. He started to say, okay, I will text you later. Before he even said later, I was out the door. I ran out the door, out the movie theater door, in my cousin's car, like, lock the door, let's get out of here. Like, it was that bad. So that's the end of the awful, horrible date. Just a little tip, if you guys notice in the beginning, like you're on a date and it's a really bad date, you should probably do the best you can to get out of it that moment. Don't wait like I did. I just put myself through torture waiting it out. After that, he never texted me. I never texted him. We never talked ever again. The feelings were definitely mutual. Neither of us liked each other. I think he just wanted to be weird. I don't know. But I deleted him off my Facebook. I deleted his phone number, and I never spoke to him ever again. And it was just awful. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will let you know I have had other bad date experiences. I've had several like bad encounters with guys. I will be honest with you, I've dated a lot of guys in my lifetime and had a lot of bad encounters with a bunch of different guys. So if you would like me to do a video on all of those together or separate them or just do a video on all these bad awkward times in my life, then please let me know down below, because I'm definitely going to do more story time videos like this. And I thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!